Saladin here from love.life.yarn, and today we're going to be crocheting this 30-minute mug cozy. It really can work up in 30 minutes or less with just single crochet and chains. It's really good to use up any bulky yarn you have in your stash. If you have a lot of yarn like I do, this isn't even all of it. So my goal this year is to help use up most of my stash, or as much as I can. So I'm making a lot of videos for projects that I designed on my blog that don't have videos, so this is one of those. So the original one had a toggle clasp, but I found I had some buttons that I liked. That this is a 1-inch button here, and so if you have a button that you really like that's pretty and can go along with something like this, it's a great use for it, and it uses up yarn from your stash, which is also a plus. Doesn't take much yarn at all to whip up these, and they make great gifts for coffee lovers. That's what I did. I gifted my original one that I made on the blog. There's still pictures of it, and then I just whipped this one up for our video tutorial. So are you ready? Let's get started. Materials you'll need for this project include scrap bulky weight yarn, a size K, which is a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, a yarn needle, scissors, and a 1-inch toggle or button. To begin, we're going to chain 7. You can see I have my 7 chains here, and I like to work in the back loops, so I'm going to skip the first chain, and in the second chain I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. That makes a single crochet. So we're going to single crochet all the way down, and we'll end up with 6 single crochet stitches. All right, we have our 6 stitches, and now we're going to make our buttonhole. So we're starting down here in the buttonhole. So chain 1, single crochet in the first 2 stitches. And then chain 2. We're going to skip the next 2. Sorry, my yarn is not cooperating. Skip 2 and single crochet in the last 2. And this will make our buttonhole. There we go. You can see the buttonhole right there. And it actually stretches to fit around quite a large button. So for row 3, chain 1 again, single crochet, chain 1, and skip the next single, and we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, which in this case is a chain. So just work into the chain, chain 1, skip the next chain, and single crochet in the next single. Finally, single crochet in the last stitch. Rows 4 through 6 are the same. So chain 1, single crochet in the first single crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and single crochet in that chain space. Chain 1, skip the single, and single crochet in the chain space. And then single crochet in the last stitch. I'm going to go ahead and work the next 2 rows, so just repeat that for 2 more rows. Okay, I've done 4, 5, and 6. Those are my 3 rows that are the same, and now we're going to increase. So we're going to work 2 single crochet right here after we chain 1, 2 single crochet stitches in the first single crochet. Chain 1, skip the next single, and then single crochet in the chain space, chain 1, skip the next single crochet in the chain space, and now we'll work 2 single crochet right here in this last stitch. So we've taken our 6 stitches and turned it into 8. It's increasing to go around our mug. And now we're going to increase again. So chain 1, work 2 single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet in the next single crochet, chain 1, skip the next single crochet in chain 1 space, chain 1, again skip the single crochet and chain 1 space, chain 1, and work 2 single crochet in this last stitch. All right, so now for row 9, chain 1, single crochet in the first single, chain 1, skip the next single and single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1 again and single crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, single crochet in a single crochet. So we had 3 in a row, we skipped 1 and we single crochet in the last 2. And that sets us up for the stitch pattern that we're going to work from here on out. So this is going to be for rows 10 through 34 or however long you need for your cups. So chain 1 and single crochet in the first single crochet, chain 1, skip the next single and single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, skip, and then single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, skip, single crochet in the chain space, chain 1, single crochet in the chain space, and finally single crochet in the last. So you're single crocheting in each chain space, chaining 1 and skipping the single crochets. So I'm going to work that was row 10, so I'm going to work up until row 34 and then we'll try it on my cup. Okay, so here's the cup that I want to use. It's slightly angled, which is a little bit harder because they tend to slide down, but I'll show you that. Here is my finished one. I have not fastened off yet because I want to make sure I don't have to adjust for the size of my cup. Typically, if I gift one of these, I gift it with a cup that it goes with, a mug. So I'm going to check this out. Now you do want it to be pretty snug. So I need to see how it's going to stretch right here. That's a good thing. We want it to stretch because if it doesn't, it's going to slide down a lot. So this seems to be pretty good size-wise. Because see how I'm pushing it down on purpose here to show you, like, if you don't do it tight enough, that's what's going to happen. So if I looked at it and said, oh, this isn't quite, long enough, and I made it longer, it would tend to slide down. So instead, I'm going to pull it tight, which is going to help keep it from sliding. This, like I said, this angled cup is a little bit more challenging, but we can do this. So let's go ahead and cut our yarn. And we're going to grab the yarn needle. I'm going to fasten off first. I'm not going to use my hook here, just my hand, just to fasten off. And you can see the stitch pattern and my 34 rows total. Cut a little bit of too long of a tail, but that's okay. You can always cut that off later. Better to be too long than too short. So thread your yarn needle, and to weave in the ends, you work underneath the little legs of the stitches. So go across. We don't want to go all the way across the row. I usually do about 4 or 5 stitches and then pull through. Okay, you don't want to pull it too tight over there on the edge. Now grab a strand, just one. It can be the leg of the next stitch. I'm going to kind of go into this bottom one here. That way when you turn, it doesn't just come right out. And then go back through the same stitches. This is just the way that I like to weave in ends. It's not the only way to weave in ends. And you can also, if you like, go through another time if you're worried about it coming out. But for this project, I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to go ahead and clip my yarn right here. And then, of course, I just repeat with the other yarn tail that's down by the buttonhole. When putting on a button, if I can, I like to take the strands of yarn apart and use the exact same yarn. So this one is already pretty easy to take the strands apart. So I'm going to grab one of those. And then I'm going to thread my yarn needle with it. I'm using a much thinner needle this time than I did to weave in the ends because I'm going to have to go through my buttonholes. Okay, now I want it in the middle. So if you looked, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We had 10 stitches, so somewhere right around 5 stitches here. And I'm not going to put it right on the very edge, so I'm going to go in here, get my button nearby. Now, you can put a knot in, but I typically don't. I just hold the yarn, the thread, or whatever you're using, down here at the end. And this button is easy. It only has 2 holes, so you go through one and down through the other. Now go through your project. And then we'll just repeat that. We'll come back up into the hole of the button and down and through the yarn. And then I'll need to pull my tail tightly as well. And I'm just going to repeat that over and over just as many times as you need, going up and through the buttonholes. And then, of course, you weave in your ends the same way you did your regular yarn tails. All right, here's my button and my finished project. This is completely finished and ready to gift. Here's my mug, and let's go ahead and try it on. So like I said, you'll need to stretch it, which is a good thing because you want it to be tight so that it actually fits on the mug and doesn't slide down. And you can see this buttonhole is easily big enough to fit my button. So you just kind of adjust it. There it is. Nice and squishy, easy pattern. This width will fit most mugs. If you needed to make it wider, you could keep increasing until you get to 2 more or 4 more stitches, and that would work. And again, any button around 1 inch or a toggle clasp, anything like that, will also hold your mug cozy on. And that's it. You're all done. So come visit love.life.yarn.com for more than 300 totally free patterns and subscribe to this channel for more great video tutorials.